NCRP Productions presents Torg Eternity by Ulisses Spiele. The Breifne Crown, Episode 8. Moving forward, we would like to give you a content warning. Tharcold and other realities are places where very bad things happen to good people. Acts and situations in this podcast may trigger those who suffer from trauma caused by sexual assault, torture, slavery, and violence. Please, listener discretion is advised. Episode 8.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a Sunday of Possibilities. My name's Greg, and I'm going to be your game master for our Torg campaign and the search for the Breifne Crown. One of our players, Victoria, is not going to be here this session, but I'd like to have my other players introduce themselves, starting to my right.
That'd be me. Hello everybody, this is David, and I'm playing Elias Strode, the Sacolum Chaplain from Aurora.
Hello, this is Tori. I'll be playing Evangeline Francis, the monster hunter from Aurora.
Hey, it's Barry. I am running Max Elite, the freedom fighter from Tharcold.
And this is Shan. I'm playing Azrael, the cyber witch from the cyber papacy.
Excellent. So from our last session, can somebody give us a recap, or would you like me to kind of recap what?
You recap.
Yeah, you recap.
Okay. So last session, Azrael was in a free fall from the botched hey-ho, but was able to recover from that. That did lead to a potential sighting, though, from some marauders that ended up ambushing or tracking the party down. Roger Boers, the leader of Juliet Company, he executed a sortie and led the marauders away, but your party ended up meeting some and got into a brief fight, and then also came across two drones that were powered by a human brain. Through some excellent psionics, you're able to overcome those and sick them on the marauders, and you made your way into Moscow University, where the Laskin Bratva family was set to have their operations. You guys met with Yuri, and from there made somewhat of a plan to find out where the demon Yavich was operating out of. So Iara, the necromancer, cast a precognition spell, and through her spell, she actually saw one of the contending High Lords of Thar called Jezreel. And with two equal paths she saw. One where Jezreel completely destroys your party, and the second where Jezreel helps your party. So what that means, we don't know yet, but that was a precognition from the spell. And when we left off, you guys were resting and recovering from your fight and getting ready to move by night. Okay, so after several hours of rest, it gets to be about 10 o'clock, and Yuri sends people to wake each of you up and summons you basically to a war council to discuss your next guys' move. He has coffee and food and some wash rags and wash basins prepared for you.
Might be time for tea.
I would love some tea.
I think tea is a good choice. I have to see and look how often I can do the tea ceremony.
So as you guys are filing in, you also see with Yuri is a young female that wasn't there before. She's about mid-20s, actually has both of her arms are fully blown cybernetic arms, and she's wearing a leather armor that's pretty form-fitting to her, and she is carrying this large hammer with, looks like these pistons on the hammer head, and then one side is like the flat of a sledge, and then the other side is pointed and with a little bit of steam coming out from a hole outside of that pointed edge of the hammer. You would recognize this as an impact hammer.
Okay.
Only those with, sufficient strength can swing them, but they're a brutal two-handed, hand-to-hand weapon.
Right.
Have I ever used one?
It seems like your character more prefers the cesti and the claws. So not really, this is more of a brute strength, Hulk smash type of weapon, whereas the claws are more of a finesse type weapon. But you wouldn't be unfamiliar with it, you just may not have being your preference, that'd be really up to your character.
Okay.
So I have a couple questions. The first one says, if I accompany the tea ceremony with either scones or pastries, then the test is favored. What does favored mean?
So a favor test is you get to re-roll the roll if you don't like the first one, but you must take the results of the second.
Okay. And it says, if the participants dress up in finery, at least semi-formal, fur coats, hats, and gloves, the test is up.
So an up allows you to roll an additional d20.
That's awesome. Anybody got any fine clothes?
Is it dress-up time?
Right, I think it might be dress-up time. Does anybody have any dress-up clothes?
I'll borrow some.
Right? I mean, we are here. Do they have any,
Well, we're in Russia, so gloves and fur hats are not
Probably
out
not
of line,
uncommon,
but that's
right.
probably not what they mean.
Well,
And
I think they
in a-
more mean high tea.
and post-apocalyptic.
semi-formal. Coats is usually frock coats, hats, and gloves.
In all fairness, for me, formal is going to be a full short. Semi-formal is going to be a tank top.
Yeah, and that's being from different
Without
causes.
holes in it?
The formal is going to vary upon the cause you're from, probably.
So, but remember,
Anyway.
Aurorsh is Victorian era,
Right.
And so that's
So it's pretty fine
the
clothing.
ascot top hat,
Right.
the monocle.
We're probably not going to get the fine clothing.
Probably
but,
not going to get the fine
Like women's
clothing.
dress have those things that you
The
tie
big
around
hoop
yourself.
skirts
Bustle
and
and
corset.
hoops
Yeah.
and corsets.
Adding the
It
minimal-
just
Yeah.
says that
Corset.
I just can do it once a day, and I think a day has passed, right? Didn't we? Are we on the next day, or are we in the same?
We
day?
certainly did not have tea on the...
It's been a couple days.
Yeah,
so-
we certainly did not have tea on the hey-ho.
So I can do it again.
Yeah, no, I think you guys did your hey-ho at night, and so, I would say a full day has passed since you've been on the ship.
And so they're offering us some food and things like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that'll be. Does that satisfy the favorite since we've got sandwiches and things to accompany the tea?
Sure.
Okay. Well, who's up for tea?
Me.
I love
All right.
tea.
Anybody want to assist me?
And the assist is I can either roll or give
You
him
can either
one.
roll or
Correct.
yeah. Yep.
I'll
So-
give you
I'll add
one.
Okay, 1, 2.
I don't know that...
If you're not drinking,
I don't know that Max would.
Well, if you're not
He
drinking,
wouldn't
then,
understand what you're doing.
well, then you would because we did the tea part before. It allows you to get a
No,
destiny
I
card.
get out of game the meta side of it. I'm saying in game, I don't think Max would understand the reason for it.
Okay. All right.
So,
No card for you.
It's not
All right.
vodka.
Here we go.
yeah.
All right. So 12.
Two.
Oh, and it's favored. So, which means
You can roll
I
again,
can reroll.
but
so
you
12
have to
plus
take-
2, that's 14. So 14 is going to give me a 1. So that's going to end up being a. I'm going to
If you re-roll and get a lower one, you have to take the lower one.
take the lower one. But at minimum of 10, right?
No.
No.
Oh, that's if I spend a
That's
possibility.
if you spend a possibility.
I'm gonna spend a possibility, just add to what I already have. I think I like that idea better. Okay, so 19. Oh, that's 10. So 24 is going to be an 8 plus. This is a 15. Is my total.
15, and this was just a DN10,
Yes.
so that is a good success.
Good success. All guests draw a destiny card. The tea master draws 2 cards, then chooses one and discards the other. So you guys each get to draw a card. I'll get to draw 2 and see which one I like, I guess.
So as a guest, am I going to take one or not?
You didn't participate in the tea party.
I get that, but what I'm saying is it's saying all guests. That's what I'm asking.
Of the
Greg.
tea party, yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
would
I can serve up to 6 people.
Yeah, I would say you have to partake of the tea
Right.
to benefit.
That's what I'm saying. You should drink the tea, man.
Again, out of game, I get the reason. In game, Max wouldn't understand it.
So as the tea's being passed about and everyone's taking a sip except for Max, Yuri and the female companion, partake of it and give you a nice little just appreciative nod as they're sipping on the tea. So once that gets done, Yuri kind of brings everyone back to business and he says, I would like to introduce all of you to my niece. This is Oksana, and I asked her to come and participate in this briefing since she is actually more well versed with the city than I am. So Oksana just kind of nods to each and every
Well
one
met,
of you.
Oksana.
I tip the teacup.
And she,
Pinky out.
Yeah, right. yes.
she nods back as she's sipping on her tea. She seems appreciative. I have been giving much thought, and it appears that the sincerity and the earnestness of this mission, coupled with the dangers and the deadliness of Tharkold, I would suggest that in order to keep your mission alive, you leave one here under our protection.
Which one?
Well, that would be up to you. It seems that you are the team leader.
You don't hear anyone arguing it.
Any volunteers?
I'm going.
So everyone kind of looks around, and Iara just looks over, and she just will simply raise her hand and says,
I think
that
that's a good
she will
choice. The
stay.
skeletons may be problems.
And then she lets you know that she can't turn over command of her skeletons to someone else, so they'll need to stay here.
It's fine. I never liked those creepy things.
She kind of eyes you a little bit, but doesn't say anything. So, very well, since that's been settled, I will turn this over then to Oksana. She clears her throat. My uncle has briefed me on what it is that you seek, and it is you're looking for the demon Yavich's last known location?
We are looking for that, yes.
Well, it was under the assumption that he was working under Thrachin, which is around the Red Square area. But I do not believe that that's where he was last seen at. There may be some type of schism in between that faction, or Thrachin may have dispatched Yavich to some unknown mission, but he was last seen by the Moscow Zoo instead.
How long ago was that?
Little over a month ago.
And for us, it's been less than a month, right?
It's been less than a month since you've encountered Yavich and Isle.
Okay.
No, it said he left the Red Square around a month ago as well.
I cannot confirm, but over at the Red Square, but I can confirm with my own eyes that he was seen at Moscow Zoo.
Who presently owns the area around the Moscow Zoo?
Right now, it is completely contested.
It's possible then that Thrachin is trying to expand his domain through the zoo, and thus taking over the contested area and emboldening his people and increasing his holdings.
So I can lead you to either place, but it is going to be, your decision, of course. I do feel compelled to tell you, however, that there is an additional Bratva that is operating over by the Kremlin, and they have aligned themselves with Volkov.
I don't think we're aligned against him. We're simply trying to get something from here and out.
I understand.
Are you able to speak with him?
We are currently at war with that particular Bratva.
That makes it a little tougher.
And again, the decision will end up being yours, of course, but I would suggest that we make for the zoo and confirm there. At least we know that there are no Bratva there.
And you haven't been to this area, or you haven't seen him in a month, is what I've understood.
27 days to be exact.
Okay. Azrael?
I think it's worth checking out the zoo. Or what is left of the zoo?
She kind of, her brows furrow, and she says, much of the structures have been demolished from the blast. On the inner part of the zoo, however, there is still power and there's still operations and enclosures. Even though there's no Bratva there, one of the things that we'll need to contest with are the reanimated animals that transformed during the invasion.
That was my next question, if we were going to have to worry about lions and tigers and bears.
I hope not, but that is going to be a distinct possibility. The zoo is only about 6 miles on 8.5 kilometers. We could easily traverse that, and I would suggest by foot. Instead of drawing attention through a vehicle, I would prefer to go into the zoo unnoticed. And there's 2 different ways that we can go. We can go topside in the city. The risks of that, obviously, are coming across another patrol, since it is around a contested area. Well, I'm also familiar with pathways in the sewers.
I'd rather take the sewers and not risk
What's in the sewers, though?
As we get closer to the zoo, many of the animals have left the enclosures and now prowl the sewers.
What animals, though? Are you talking about?
Lions, tigers, and bears.
Small, cute, fuzzy little ones, or like
Koalas?
ones with big claws?
Well, all of them, even small, cute, fuzzy ones, especially with occult tech cybernetics, can be quite dangerous.
So shoot first and ask questions later.
Not a bad policy.
Would what we find in the sewers be any worse than the brain drones and patrols?
Just shrugs kind of helplessly.
When you think about the sewers, though, we'll be in a confined space where we won't have the availability of mobility like we would have on the surface. That's something to consider.
That is something to consider. However, also with the sewers, the destruction and the rubble doesn't necessarily impede our movement either.
And it may impede something larger.
Perhaps. There's pros and cons to each. regardless, it's not going to be an easy journey.
Would we get there faster in the sewers or above ground?
Probably the sewers.
I think we should take the sewers.
Very well. Any other questions before we leave?
None that I can think of. We should go.
So I will accompany you, and Iara will stay here just to make sure your mission is intact should the worst befall us. And then, Uncle, if it's okay with you, we shall leave immediately.
So I'm going to lean into Azrael. You should have Iara see if she can make contact with our exfil.
I'll have her do that.
She nods and says
Okay.
she'll work on that. You guys do anything?
I'm ready.
Yep, let's go.
I'm always ready. It's time to go.
So she just kind of nods around, sees the resolute faces of everyone, picks up her hammer, just sets it on her shoulder, stands up, and starts walking, and just assumes you guys are going to fall in behind her.
Falling in.
I will wear my oxygen mask. We don't know what the concentration of methane inside the sewage tunnels might be. They can be quite unsettling in high concentrations. I suggest you all do the same. I don the mask.
Kind of shrugs and just keeps on walking.
You do you, man.
Yep, I'm wearing an oxygen mask.
Oksana leads you guys out of the main entrance where you came in, maybe about a quarter mile as you guys are entering the streets of the Broken of Moscow. The little bit of familiarity from the Bratva home that you guys left is peeling away with each step further, and just the night in Tharkold is and just feels oppressive and heavy on you. It's different than the dark in Orosh, where when the shadows move, it's not just the wind, something may literally be in the shadows. This darkness and this oppressiveness actually seems to want you to fail. It seems that it wants you to get hurt, and it's waiting for it. And it just seeps into the blood, and it seeps into your skin the further you get. And you can see Oksana start becoming just a little bit more alert, and her footsteps become a little bit more soft and not tentative, but definitely more on edge as she kind of starts feeling the oppressiveness that is Tharkold.
Now, we've got the ability to kind of sense those people that have possibility energy. Is she a Storm Knight? Do we feel that from her?
You can roll reality.
Started decent. That's going to be a 6.
I mean, you kind of try to get a feel like you have before. You're not sensing anything from her, though.
Okay.
But easily, as you start concentrating, it seems like just the night air and that unseen force that's in Tharkold that you're just all too familiar with is starting to bring you back to memories of home and just in constant battle, that constant vigilance.
What about, as far as the way she is set up, I have not gotten from Jones that Earth is at this tech level. Does she appear to embrace Tharkold's cosm?
With her cybernetic arms, absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she's kindred to me at this point.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. She, those cybernetic arms and that impact hammer are definitely Tharkoldu technology.
Occult tech.
Occult tech.
How are we seeing in the sewers?
She didn't ask.
I'll ask. How do we expect to see find our way through the dark sewers? As I look around the group, do we have light sources? That could be a problem.
Simply release your senses. You'll be able to follow.
Yeah, where I come from, it doesn't work that way.
As you guys are having this conversation, she looks back at you just with a frown on her face and shh, speak not so loud here. And then all of a sudden her ears her face changes and her head kind of picks up. Everyone go ahead and roll survival or streetwise, whatever is the highest.
13.
21. We're in my
7.
element.
Max, so as you're starting to feel it, like I said, that vigilance all of a sudden just kind of comes back home. And, you have to have that. And as soon as Oksana's face just kind of turns, you pick up on that and then just put your senses out. And you can hear distantly, but seems to be approaching, giggling. 2 distinct sounds of giggling.
Are we in the sewers yet or no?
No.
Okay, it's on our way.
Yeah.
Okay.
My
So
friend,
you-
something
you-
approaches.
So you left Moscow State, the university, and started making your way to the entrance into the sewers. And even before you got there, you can start hearing that, or this happens.
So I'll take a step towards Oksana and whisper to her, "What is it?"
I can't tell, but nothing that laughs in this area is good. And so she looks around.
Do we hide or do we attack?
Let's see what it is first. Do you not agree?
It's your land.
So she looks ahead and then kind of just ducks behind just some of the rubble and kind of gets in behind there, but yet still where she can try to see out to where she is going. So you see Oksana looking for cover and taking cover.
Do we have time to act before this laughter is upon us?
You haven't heard anything yet, so I'm
gonna
So
cast.
you think you might?
I'm gonna cast Bless.
Okay.
The group. Everyone in a 5-meter radius, so hopefully I can gather everyone and say that the blessings of the sacred vellum will guide us. I'm going to make a DN10 faith check. So 19. A DN10, so that's a good
Maybe a
test,
good
right?
success.
Okay, so it's going to last for a whole minute, and we're going to get +1 to dexterity.
Does anyone stay out in the open, or does everyone take cover?
No, as soon as Oksana finds cover, I am in it.
Okay.
Same.
Yep.
Yep,
Okay.
take cover.
So everyone takes cover. So everyone make a stealth roll.
11.
Oh, let's see. It's so funny. Is that based on dexterity?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, and 12.
-2.
10.
I rolled a 1, if that means anything. Like a nat 1. I don't know if it's a botch or anything. So
yeah. So
I rolled. Is that a complication or whatever you call it? Yeah, I botched.
I have an 18.
I believe I'm well hidden.
Do you happen to have any extra little vials?
Vials, you say?
Yes. But I'm not holding anything because I have liquid courage that can be split 5 different ways.
I understand what that is. We should drink some.
I don't know that my courage is
It'll last
dependent
for an
upon a
hour.
concoction. I believe it is innate. We are here on our own accord.
It lasts for an hour.
Throw me a pint.
Grants favored rolls for fear tests. And if it fails, so instead of being very stymied, you're just stymied.
So normally on a 1 you would disconnect.
Oh.
But they're not here, so
Or you'd have to make a check, right?
right, yeah.
Okay.
So like each turn you would need to reconnect.
Oh,
But-
you automatically disconnect on a 1?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
So when you're outside of your area, especially with a test like this, because now it's opposed with another
Cosm.
right or another entity from the cosm.
All right.
But you're not in combat.
Okay,
so,
cool.
You could feel that disconnect, but it's not going to be a problem, I don't think, for you to
Alright.
reconnect back again.
Okay.
So
I don't
what
have
are you
any-
doing while?
We don't have any spare vials, but can we just drink out of the same glass?
We can split it now. Or we can split it into smaller little,
How long does it last?
an hour.
Oh yeah, let's drink that stuff now.
All right. Well, I guess while we're all hiding,
So while you guys are hiding, having this conversation, you
pop
hear-
it open.
Passing around a flask.
Yeah, so it kind of like louder now, but distinct. You hear like, well, it sounds like the just the cry of a cat, and then just just a couple giggles.
I'm going to look at Oksana
And
see
so,
if there's any reaction from her.
I mean, just her face registers confusion, like what in the hell?
Favored rolls for
I'm going to make sure I know
fear
where
tests.
Azrael is.
If you fail it,
Oh yeah, she's. I mean,
I'm with everybody.
yeah.
So if you pass it around and I drink it, and it's not vodka or some other hard liquor, I'm going to
It's liquid courage.
I'm going to have a weird look on my face because I assumed it was vodka.
I would partake of this. We've already not partaken of the tea, and it's beneficial.
No, I drank it. That's what I'm saying is I would look odd at it.
It's like a potion, right?
While it's being passed around, you guys hear now like a thump. Definitely sounds distinct, like a male and a female giggle.
And it's not Tharkoldu. It's not something that I would have any awareness of.
Sounds like human giggling,
Okay.
almost like children laughing.
Is it getting closer?
Yes.
From where I'm hiding, can I see it? If I look through the bushes or something.
Let's see here. Actually, as you guys all look, it's getting close enough to like you start seeing movement in the darkness, and you kind of straining at that movement. And what appears, just walking nonchalantly, appears to be 2 children, a male and a female, maybe about 10, 12 years old, somewhere around that age. One of them's holding what looks to be a cat by its tail. The cat's just kind of just squirgling and trying to claw the kid's hand, and as it gets closer every once in a while, you'll see the kid just kind of just swing the cat, thunk it against one of the debris, and you hear them both just laugh and giggle, and they kind of pass the cat to the next one, and they just kind of keep walking, they just start walking, and all of a sudden they kind of stop, and they look over, and it appears that they are looking at you. Father Strode, it appears that these two children seem to be looking at you.
I say, lay the innocent animal down and repent for your sins.
So you guys, do you stand up, or you see this from Kai?
Well, they're looking right at me. I assume they see me in broad daylight, right? So I go ahead and...
Well, it's not broad daylight. It's night.
not broad daylight. I go ahead and talk to them.
Broad night.
Broad
night light.
So do you stand up?
Sure.
Okay.
And as I stand up, I put my hand on my crossbow.
So you kind of... They're just both looking at you, just like with a blank, confused stare. And then the female that's holding the cat, you see her just kind of reach back.
I'll shoot her.
Everybody else rolls their eyes real hard.
Remember, shoot first, ask questions later. That's what we were told, yes.
So with that, we will go into Anish.
Face palm.
Now, is he going to have a full action before we do anything?
Yes.
Initiative and all that? Okay.
So, standard scene, heroes go first with a flurry. So flurry, the heroes get an extra turn this round.
Nice.
Does that mean we can go twice? Like one after the other?
So yes. So for this, Father Elias will get 2 turns. Everyone else will get 1 turn instead of 2.
He should get 3 turns. We should get 2.
So normally you wouldn't have got none because it was a surprise, but because of the flurry, I will go ahead and grant you.
So I should fire my crossbow?
Yeah, that's
Here
what
we
you
go.
do.
I'm going to shoot
You
at the
better
one holding
hit
the
him.
cat.
Okay.
All right.
Use your die that has served you well for the past 30 years. Okay, you got it. Good.
Torturing a defenseless animal is not a virtuous deed. 10.
A 10.
Yeah.
So as you shoot, you can see the kid just kind of duck down, and the coral goes right over her.
It's not a good
No.
sign.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a +1 dex. It's an 11.
An 11.
Okay.
Still right over. Close, though. A little bit closer. So I will give you your second action. So what you guys see, including Oksana, is, just kind of stands up. Her eyes are wide as you start engaging in conversation. And then all of a sudden you bring up your crossbow and shoot. And so she's kind of just frozen in place. So that's what you guys saw. So you go ahead and take your second action.
Load the second bolt. So much for the warning shot. This one will count.
Is that an intimidation, or was you actually trying to shoot?
No, I'm still shooting.
Okay.
So I got an 8. Yeah, anybody want to throw me a bone here? You guys sitting on like fat stacks of chips?
I have 1 chip.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell me like you got 5, you got 5. There we go.
one in.
Yeah. Team player. All right. Okay. So that's a 10. So that's an 18. So that's going to be 13.
13 hits.
Yeah, nice. Told you. The damage is, what range am I at? I forgot to ask.
Oh, yeah, maybe short range.
Okay.
Yeah.
So damage is 13.
So 13, that actually is going to do a point of shock.
Which one did you hit? The little boy or the little girl?
The girl. The one holding the cat.
Actually, it's going to do more than that. It's going to do 2 shock. Who's going next?
I'll go.
So as you start looking, you can see the crossbow bolt just right into the shoulder, and the little girl just kind of grimaces and takes a step back, but still holding the cat and like this daggers in her hand.
I'm going to cast lightning on the little girl.
Okay.
Jeez. Do this.
I was gonna be nice and go with Thunder.
That was horrible. Here's my 1 chip. That's 18.
18, that is going to be a good success.
It explodes.
Actually, no, just standard success. I apologize. Because it's against our dodge, right?
So that's just my regular damage.
Yes.
It's against dodge or dexterity.
Okay.
So 16 damage, but it ignores 4 armor.
So as this girl, stumbling back with the crossbow bolt in her up in her shoulder, dagger in her hand, as you can see, the dagger, there's like red circuitry along the spine as it just kind of starts activating. The cat is now screaming and just swirling, and all of a sudden, it gets a little bit darker, and the bolt of lightning comes down, and what do we see?
Oh, really?
He's only a kid.
Man.
So I actually had The way it was playing in my mind was that because I'm casting lightning out of my hands, not summoning it from the sky.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So I want to play it like that instead
Like
of
Palpatine lightning.
Yes.
All right. So your hand just kind of reaches out, the blue just crackles upon, and just...
Fries her. She's charcoal now.
Who's next?
I am watching Oksana. I'll take action, but I want to see what she does first. I am waiting for her.
She's, from what you can tell, is holding action. And so she hasn't come out from her cover yet.
Does the cat take off? Does the cat turn into anything? What's going on?
Did I
with
kill the
Kitty?
cat?
That is a good question. She's holding on to it, and you fried her. Yeah,
Aww.
it's gonna...
Aw.
And so as everyone kind of looks,
It's
you
not
hear
intentional.
you hear one thud and a little smaller thud.
I put it out of his misery. I'd like to say that.
Well, I guess I'll just try to knock out the boy and not kill him, like you guys murdering children. So I'm gonna use my Slayer's gun and launch my Thunder Brew potion at him.
So you guys hear the rotation of the cylinder as it lines
Love
up.
that thing.
This one uses 15, sorry.
15 is a good success.
So this explosive brew is placed inside a glass container and is used as a grenade. Detonates on impact, potentially concussing anyone in a medium blast. Those affected must make a standard strength test. Those who pass suffer 2 shock, and those who fail are knocked out.
All right, so strength, they're kids. His strength is not high. And what's his DN? Oh, you said just standard. So that'd be
strength
10.
test.
So, and nope, that would be a 7. So as it comes, shoots over, and so you see the boy just kind of, eyes just roll back of his head as he goes down, unconscious.
I say we hurry and get out of here.
We need to run. Well, not necessarily run, but we need to go.
So far, nothing's made a tremendous amount of noise. The lightning would have been a crack, that would have been a thump, but nothing's been like explosions or gunfire or anything.
I mean, the rumble was a little bit of thunder sound, but no explosion. But here in Moscow, there's the sounds of combat is not unheard of, so it wouldn't necessarily draw too much attention.
So I'm still watching Oksana.
So she kind
With an
of
eye to Azrael, but I'm watching Oksana.
she kind of looks around and waits, and then she kind of stands up and looks at you.
Did the electricity destroy my crossbow bolt, or can I retrieve it?
It would have fried it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
that little girl
It may
got
have been where
cooked.
everything localized to it has metal in it.
Yeah, that little girl got cooked. So Oksana kind of stands up and looks at you.
I nod for her to, take the lead because she knows where we're going and I don't, so let's go.
Before she goes, I'm going to lean to her and I'm going to say, hopefully without the others hearing, but they're welcome to listen in. I'm going to ask her, should we leave it?
I have my weapon. That would be up to you.
Do we leave the child alive?
Again, that would be up to you.
Okay, so she's not giving me a definite.
We can
Are
tie
we
it
supposed
up.
to draw any cards at the end of the combat or anything?
No, combat only lasted 1 round.
Okay, all right.
So, I mean, not even a full round, so you guys never got to put in.
Okay, cool.
So, she starts walking, and you can see that the path that she's going is going to lead towards the charred kid, the charred cat, and the unconscious boy. As you get up closer, you can see tucked inside the boy's pants, it looks to be some type of heavy pistol.
Loot the kids.
What kind of ammo is it?
So, do you stop and check?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems more up
'Cause
her alley
this-
than mine.
This might go along with my revolver or my Slayer's gun, so.
So, it looks to be a 1911, so 45.
An 1811.
I'll take it.
Okay.
That's a good weapon.
And that came off the little boy who is currently not dead, right?
The boy is not dead. He's still breathing, but he is unconscious.
So we don't want him to have that.
Everyone go ahead and roll a mind for me.
Just straight
DN
mind?
12, just straight mind.
Oh, I was taking the gun, too.
10 plus.
I rolled a
17,
20.
So that's going to
Okay.
be.
So that means I get to roll again, right?
20.
Yes. Add to it.
29.
I got a 20.
Okay.
It's a 20. My total's 20.
-1.
So the two of you got, everyone that made it, so you noticed that the bolt on her was cooked. The cat that she was holding was cooked, but the dagger that was in her hand is unaffected, and you can still see a slight glow of like what appears to be like blood red circuitry inside of the blade, on the spine of the blade.
You think we should take that?
So
Definitely.
for 1911, it's a tech of 20, damage of 14, ammo of 7, and range of 10, 25, 40. Only one magazine though.
How much ammo?
7.
Classic 45. Were they 1811s or were they 1911? I can't remember.
No, this is 1911.
Oh, but the classic 45 in our world is the 1811, isn't it? Isn't that what it is? Like the ones that everybody makes ghost weapons out of, you know, was the 1811s, right? Isn't that the one that's like really out of control and gun control and things like that?
I don't no idea. Don't look at me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I can't take it if the tech is too high, right?
It's a tech 20, so you can attempt to use it, but it's something that you may end up disconnecting from. So remember,
Turns into a slingshot.
yeah, or it would turn into something that is more in line with what is, you know, Victorian.
Just a terrible revolver, probably.
Yeah,
It's like one of those
Yeah.
ones where you have to put the pellet down and like shove it in.
The flintlock.
Yeah.
You
Well, no, I mean,
stuff the gunpowder in.
a revolver.
That's awesome.
What was the damage on it?
Damage of 14.
Okay. I'll hold on to it for a backup.
And what about the dagger?
So the dagger appears to be the shape of an Arkansas toothpick. So a very thin blade, double-edged, maybe about a foot long, and the handle is casket shaped. And as you look closely and as you kind of pick it up, you can see the circuitry start to, you know, the glow that was along the spine start fading and just kind of going back into the shape. Who picks up this particular dagger?
I think that fits with Max or me, but I wanted to know about it because I feel like that would change who it would most appropriately fit with. Like what's its axiom and what's its damage and whatnot.
So what you are feeling with this particular dagger is a tech of 25, but also a magic axiom too, that you feel your magic kind of responding. So it'd be a magic axiom of 12.
I think he's hinting that.
Well,
am I
you
supposed to
you
take
will
it?
you will notice that unless you say something, I won't go for it. I won't even move towards it.
I'll take it. What's it called?
It is a demon dagger.
There's one axiom's 20, the other was what?
So the tech axiom of it is 25, but there is also a magic axiom of 12.
And what's the damage?
The damage is strength,
Plus anything?
not that you can feel or know of yet.
Okay.
Actually, no, it would be strength plus 2.
Anything else I need to know about it?
Not at this moment.
Can Max do magic? Like, does he have magic? Do you do magic?
Do I? No.
Because I feel like if you used it, you'd disconnect if you rolled a 1 because it's got a magic axiom.
Are you saying I should take it?
But out of character, the magic of Tharcold axiom is 12. So
Oh.
you would naturally, fit that.
Okay, no, then he should have the dagger. Because I'm not going to lie, I already have a power dagger from my realm. And I like the lightning. So you get a demon dagger?
So you're going to hand it to
Yes, you're going to get a demon dagger.
me? I will bow my head and take it.
You can see this inner monologue, and then she just flips the dagger around, hands it to you, hilt first.
All right, so Axiom 12, what else?
Axiom of 25.
Tech
a tech
25.
Tech 25, magic 12. So it's got 2 axioms.
Okay.
Strength plus 2 damage. I'm also not very strong, so I feel like it's not the thing.
You pick it up, you can feel that the demonic influence of the occult tech has not been exorcised yet from it.
So I'm going to turn it around in my hand, and then I'm going to put it in, where do I have? I guess I'm going to slide it into my backpack.
So while you guys are kind of going through this, Oksana is just patiently waiting. She doesn't look bored, she doesn't look, she's just kind of keeping an eye out.
We just looted children and killed one. Okay.
Well,
And
I think even something as innocent appearing as children here can be expected to be a threat, if I'm understanding this place correctly.
You are learning the world very well. Additionally, causing pain. It's important.
and what are you going to do with the living one?
Okay, I'm again going to look at Azrael.
I'm really conflicted internally because we don't generally kill children in my cosm, but I realize we're somewhere different than my realm.
Perhaps we should tie him up
Yeah.
I'm thinking the same thing.
and leave him here.
And I feel
How
like
vital is your mission, and how much of a danger does this pose to it?
well, I'm internal monologuing to the
forgive me.
to the general listener.
Plus, you're thinking if you kill all the children, who's going to be altar children?
So
They're our future.
But we are somewhere that's dangerous, and my home cause and mindset does not fit here.
Oksana's patiently waiting.
I am too.
So I'm going to turn to Max, and I think we should make sure that one can't follow us.
It shall be done.
Whack 'em.
Take my sword over to it and
The sword or
slice
the dagger?
the sword
Okay.
that I carry and slice its neck.
So, just...
I don't sit there and wait for him to bleed out. I slice the neck. I know how to do this, and I'm back.
So, Oksana nods approvingly and then turns and starts walking.
Man, I was just trying to knock him out. Y'all over here
We
killing
can't
children?
we can't have him following us. How do we know that
So-
was a regular child and not a demon-possessed child?
So, Max,
I mean, we
you
proposed
feel
hiding them.
that euphoria that comes over you with the vanquishing of an enemy, regardless of the size. And Azrael, you killed one, commanded the death of another, and the darkness was lifted a little bit. You feel better.
Oh, gross.
You're like in a good mood now.
A reminder to you guys and all the audience: this is a really disgusting realm. I mean, it's basically trigger warnings everywhere. So feel conflicted and voice it too. That's definitely a piece of this. Darkhold is a terrible realm.
And that is why I picked Max to do the butchering, because I didn't think his character from his realm would have a problem with that.
I did not.
I thought
Which
they
I
must
would
have
say
been
you
possessed
being
by
here.
demons. I was told everything's a threat. Everything wants to kill you, and no matter what shape or form they come in. So I'm assuming everything is a demon and is the devil's work, and I'm here to cleanse it,
Killing children?
if need be.
Okay.
That's why I didn't ask her. All right, let's go.
So Oksana nods, turns around, and starts heading back.
My focus is on Oksana again.
And so for those that look back at the boy turning extremely pale fast, and just this ever-widening pool of blood that's now encompassing his sister as well.
I can't look back. I just look forward and keep going.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep walking.
So even though you can't look back, again, Azrael, you can't shake that feeling that you just did a good deed.
You done good.
And I feel guilty about it. I feel real guilty, but I feel good, and it makes me feel guilty that I
Which
feel so good.
totally fits the cyber papacy from where you come. Guilt?
Yeah, I've got the
Oh, yeah.
Catholic guilt.
Oh yeah.
Must need repent
Beautiful.
somehow.
I mean, I feel a little weird because the one did reach for a weapon, so I felt like I had just cause to lay her down, but the other one was innocent.
That's what has knocked him out.
But
Nothing
he had a
is
pistol.
innocent.
Yeah, but that's the argument, is that nothing's innocent here, so
Nothing.
I'm glad I don't have the weight of that on my soul. There are
You
tons
should
of
not.
crosses
None of
to
you
go
should.
wrong.
There should be no weight upon you. We've done good this day. Keep going.
So Oksana kind of nods at that, and she says, just remember the mission. Remember your objective. Let none stand in his way. Just go ahead.
Keep going, yeah.
All right, where's the monsters?
Hi-ho,
Where's these
hi-ho.
animals? Take my anger out on those things.
Out of all of it, I know the cat was innocent and didn't deserve to die the way that it did, but I'm confident that it did not feel any pain.
Not for very long.
No,
That
quick.
thing got fried fast. Oksana moves you guys along maybe about another quarter of a mile, so it's about a half mile from the entrance to the university to where she goes and starts pulling over a sewer cover.
As soon as she's on it, I'm there helping.
And so she nods, but just one-handed, she just, her cyber arms just lends her the string. She's just kind of pulls it over.
Like a Terminator just pulls the thing and throws it behind her.
Doesn't throw it, but she easily lifts it up. Yeah, not like a frisbee.
I'm looking around, seeing if there's anything following us or
I too will be
Kinda
watching before
watching
we
us.
dive into the darkness of the sewers.
Go ahead and roll a find
Do you want all of us to do that?
for those who are looking.
Okay. Well, so here's what I would say. I would be as alert as she is. So if she is head on a swivel, so am I. If she's not, I'm not.
No, she's pretty focused now
right.
down to the sewer.
Then I'm not.
14.
it's 8.
You look around and you don't get the feeling that anything's following you.
I don the auction mask and dive in.
So before she starts to descend the stairs going down the sewers, you can all see her just kind of just move over to her temple. You hear a soft audible click, and then her irises turn kind of a bright green as she starts climbing her way down.
I don't have that.
It's dark down there, so I go, how are we supposed to see?
I mean, I have something that can illuminate a little bit of an area, but
I can't. Yep, I'm.
I do not
As she's
have it.
climbing down, she
Should
hears
we-
this conversation. She's like, I assumed that you had come prepared.
Prepared to see
Prepared
in the
for
dark.
what? This was a surprise.
she stops, as she's coming down the stairs, like, do you not want to take the sewers then?
How far
You
back
stay
were
up
the
on
kids?
top.
I say we put her in the front then if she can see.
I bow my head for a moment, reach my pack, pull out a flare, and light it.
There you go.
So she nods, and then as you light the flare, she kind of averts her head a little bit,
Yep.
and just like the dim is not as bright as it was, but she continues to climb down.
Put her in the front then if she can see.
Well, as long as we can all see now, we're better off. I don't know about blindly following this chick through the dark, She could double cross us for all I know.
Yeah, it's not like I want to have to hold hands the whole way through
Right.
Right, but we'll put her ahead of the flare. At least we can see around the flare, and then it's not going to mess up her vision.
Now, are these sewers like, we're waist deep in sludge and sewage, or do they have like the walking, are they big enough to where they have this concrete walkways?
Like sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moscow is, a metropolitan city. The sewers are big enough and where, there definitely sewer workers can get down and work and maneuver. The sewage that was there hasn't completely evaporated. It's not the awful stink that you think it would be. Enough time has elapsed. And so basically in the channel where there would have been sewage running, just like a little bit of puddles of kind of just like
Gross.
dark liquid, but... But again, it's not as stink as fresh sewage that you would think.
Didn't this place get nuked?
Moscow did, but the underground survived fairly well.
I think the radiation might have evaporated. The heat of the nukes might have evaporated a lot of the moisture in the area if there was a bomb that dropped near here.
But it wasn't just a straight nuke. It was, two technologies colliding in a mixed zone because Darkhold's tech wasn't solidified here yet when Volkov launched the nuke. So no one can really foresee what the result was going to be from the two axioms colliding when a nuclear weapon went off. Darkhold's tech supported the nuclear weapon, but yet...
And my character's not going to know anything about nukes. That's way too advanced for me anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm just out of character, I guess.
Plus, you had the collapse of the bridge and involved in the nukes as well. So.
Right. But for purposes of games, as you guys get down and with the light of the flare, you can see that if there's an ample walkway.
So I'll put myself literally in the center
Okay.
with Azrael in front of me and Oksana in front of me.
Okay. So Oksana looks back and she says, the closer we get to the zoo, I suggest that we put out the flare. We don't want the light to attract any of its inhabitants.
So once we all get down there, I'm going to cast Ward Enemy. It's a concentration thing that's going to give us a benefit to our defenses against evil creatures and their attacks. Supernatural evil creatures and attacks.
Okay.
It's Faith roll, so that's going to be a 21. And my
Against
DN
DN10?
was 10.
So outstanding success.
Cool. So we get, as a good result, supernatural evil creatures who fail an attack against any of the protected individuals is stymied. And we get +2 to our defenses, to all defenses.
And how long is that for?
Concentration. So I'll be concentrating on it.
Okay.
Are we still under the courage as well as an hour past?
An hour hasn't passed yet.
Okay.
So we have a lot of courage and +2 to all defenses.
Thanks to Father Elias, his faith is expanded out and is embracing his party.
And in any failed attack against one of us, they are automatically stymied.
So, once everyone's ready, Oksana starts moving out. This time, though, as you can see her, she's not moving as nonchalantly as she was in the street. Her hammer is actually now in her hand. She's taking more of a combat stance as she's moving along, just kind of head on the swivel, maybe going about 10 steps, pausing, listening.
I'm following along with whatever she's doing.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can definitely see her demeanor in the sewer has changed from when it was up on top.
If she's moved to that, I'm lighting the slashers out.
Okay.
So I'm not going to take an action to light them up during combat.
Okay. As you guys are moving around, with that type of electric, I mean, in pitch quiet, when everyone's quiet, you can really faintly detect the hum of the electromagnetic that heats up the blades. But as you're walking, it definitely covers over the sound.
And I'm assuming there's other noises going on constantly.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be where it,
I hear slashers.
Right. So it's not going to be a game mechanic penalty. So when she's moving, so you said you're mirroring her image,
Also.
Azrael, you're mirroring?
Yes.
I've got my Slayer's gun out.
I've got my crossbow out.
Okay. So everyone go ahead and just make a stealth roll. Just a straight DN10.
A 3.
Nope. Just nope.
6.
So as you guys are moving along, you just like everyone, you just like clink of something, or kick
Splash.
something over,
Slide
or
through something.
just like grunt nothing. And every single time you just see Oksana stop and her shoulders kind of bunch and she shakes her head.
The poor
side,
lighting. It's the
and
poor
then
lighting.
just keeps going. It keeps walking along.
It's like I get on some sludge and then like slip for a really long time
right,
because I'm
right.
like trying
Shadows
to.
of the
yourself.
flare throwing my depth perception off.
So as you guys are moving the 5 miles,
5 miles.
You said this would be quicker.
5 miles through the sewers.
it's still 5 miles, but
That's
at
a
least it's 5
long
miles of
ways.
direct travel as opposed to 5 miles of going through rubble and broken down,
Yep,
streets
that
and
was-
side streets.
But
I
that,
mean, at
that-
least we could have seen better.
it must feel like an eternity. 5 miles stealthing.
It is. So it is definitely.
We pre-camp.
Well, that liquid courage is wearing off for sure.
Oh yeah, that's gone, huh?
Well, what if we encounter some more demon children down
We
here?
can probably make it a couple miles,
Yep.
and then it'll be gone.
Will there be any ladders back up between here and there?
Like, if you need to get to the surface,
Yeah.
yes.
Because I feel like we should go the long way.
Instead of traversing the rest of the way through sewers?
Yep.
That is your decision.
I feel like the fact that none of us can see is going to turn into more of a liability than
The-
is worth.
The flare doesn't help. You still
Oh.
can't see.
Oh, yeah, he brought the flares.
We'll be seen from a long ways by
Okay.
something else as well, though.
Yeah.
When we
That's-
move against the Tharkoldu, we move in holes, in caverns, in sewers like this. This is the right way to approach.
She kind of just shrugs.
I sit there thinking for a second. We'll continue like this, but if it turns to be too much of a burden to go through the sewers, we should go up.
I kind of think is about another mile. I would suggest we extinguish the flares and move. If you don't feel comfortable, we can make our way to the top and try to get to the zoo entrance topside.
Sounds like a plan.
Very well. So she moves along. You can see her take a couple of side tunnels just by memory, but she does end up leading to another ladder that goes on up. And so from here she goes, from here we're about approximately a mile from the zoo, but we'll have to go ahead and traverse it and the terrain up on top.
Okay.
So she starts climbing up. She gets up to the top, and you can see her just lift up the grate just very slowly, and she kind of peers to listen, and she does it remarkably quietly. And so just, the grate just nice and slow, and you can definitely tell that the cyber arms that she has is lending to this because just of the control she has of this metal grate.
I'm admiring her cyber arms.
They are definitely, they're not polished like the ones that you see in the cyber papacy,
But they're pretty cool.
but they're pretty cool. So she looks down at you and whispers, said, "I hear nothing up on top."
Go.
So she kind of just lifts up, moves it to the side, gently sets it down, and she kind of peers her head up, just looks a quick look around, and then very deftly just climbs up the last of the ways, jumps out, and what do you guys do?
Follow her.
Climb up out of there.
You climb up out of there.
Happy to be out of the sewers.
No need to make a roll. Everyone, it's easy to climb up a ladder. She helps those that are, each one coming up. She kind of helps, and then as everyone traverses the ladder and makes her way onto the street, she moves the grate, places it back, just nice and gently with very minimal sounds. And once again, you find yourself into the darkness of Tharkold and just feeling the environment that is inviting you to hurt and to kill and to be dominant where you're at. She takes a deep breath and she goes, "From here, you must be quiet, or if we don't want to attract the attention of the inhabitants. I would rather take 30-40 minutes to make this mile journey, and we can do it slowly and unseen. Do you agree?"
I agree.
So from here, for this last bit, what we're going to do is move into a dramatic resolution.
Nice.
Rather than having to constantly make stealth rolls.
Right. So the first one, however, is going to be a stealth roll. So again, just a reminder for the audience, dramatic skill resolution is you have 5 turns to make 4 different rolls. And so in order to achieve it, or an opportunity to at least achieve it, there needs to be a corresponding letter on the card for you to make it. So step A is going to be stealth. And there is a step A. One thing too that you guys can do, since there is an A and a B, you can attempt to make both rolls in the same turn, but you do suffer -2 to the rolls.
I'd say we go for it.
So the first roll is going to be stealth. It is going to be a difficulty number of 15. It is very difficult.
Did not make it.
And then maneuver is going to be the second one, to be able to find a path to move in the terrain.
Are we doing it as a group so each of us can add, or is it each singly?
No, this will be as a group.
Oh,
and so each can add.
I got 15
All right, cool. There
for
you go.
stealth.
I'll give you one.
And I would add
I'll
one.
add one.
17, 18.
Okay, so 18, you're able to move through, and you guys are moving through very quietly. Need somebody to make a maneuver, though, and this is going to be a DN of 14.
I'll do the lead on this.
Yeah, I have a
What is
9.
maneuver? Oh, there it is, Dex.
Anyone else helping?
People who can help can
And
roll
+1.
and add, or just do the +1. Wait, did you already spend possibility?
Oh, that's right. I can only spend
you
one,
go.
right?
Yes.
So our total, if somebody else can spend for me, we're not going to make it on this roll otherwise. If anyone has a possibility they want to spend.
Instead.
I have no possibilities. I can try to roll, but I can't promise you that my flea dice is gonna.
Right.
I have my green
I'll
die.
spend.
It does not let me down.
All right.
There you go.
So if we do that, that is going to be 21.
21. That will make it.
What does somebody spending a possibility give to the other person? Is that another die?
The exact same thing.
Yeah, just like you're
gotcha.
spending. Yeah,
Okay,
You
cool.
because
just can't spend more than one yourself in
You're
your
right.
one
Right.
turn.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
normally you couldn't unless you have the perk grant possibility.
All right.
But that was an in-house
We all
freebie
have
perk.
that, yeah. That's cool.
Okay, so now
Now
you
we need
guys
to see,
did your
right?
first 2, and you still have 4 rounds to go.
Now we need a C.
Now you need
I
a
need
C.
to see.
There is a C available.
Sweet.
And C is, so as you guys are moving, she leads you to the inner sanctum of where, not sanctum, excuse me, like inside the inner workings of what used to be the Moscow Zoo. You're able to find a path. It's slow going, but she leads you up to a door, and she whispers, inside the door is the computer control room, but it's locked. I hope one of you know how to pick a lock.
Not
That's
I.
what dexterity.
So this will be a lock picking test,
Lock picking is dex.
and that's a standard DN 12.
I think lock picks you can't use it unless you've got like lock picks, or unless you. I think it's ones you can't use untrained. Someone's got to have it trained, I believe.
Might have to break the door down or find a
Right.
different way in.
That is correct.
Is there a window?
How about that?
There is not a window.
How about that fancy dagger that you have?
So I take it nobody has lock picking.
I do not.
I don't know. That is not a skill.
I don't think any of us have lock picking. maybe.
I mean, I could lighten the
Iara.
door and hopefully
Yeah, we could
it
blast
opens.
it to bits.
So she says, she kind of shrugs and she goes, we can attempt to continue moving forward, but what this would have done was enable us to lock down, hopefully, the other enclosures to keep the other animals from coming in.
What about those arms that she has? Are they not strong enough to
And she doesn't have any lock
rip
picking
the?
go-go
Rip
gadget
the door
in her
off
arms?
the hinges.
Like, we can, but it probably is going to attract whatever else may come in. So inside is going to be the computers. Does anyone here know computer work?
No.
Nope.
I mean, I have an 11 mind, and computers is a mind thing, and you don't need to be trained in it to do it.
And so she kind of looks at you. She's like, your reality is going to be the one that is best suited in order to potentially hack into this computer.
Crack my knuckles.
So what I suggest then is we can go ahead and destroy this door and then be prepared for whatever comes. During that time, you will need to try to close down the enclosures to prevent anything else from coming in.
Copy.
Are there vents that lead inside? We can try to crawl through up into that area.
We can try. All right, are you ready?
Ready.
So she looks around, confirms everyone's ready, and she works her fingers into like the door frames, the door handle, and then the top frame, and gives a strong jerk, and say, and you kind of hear it just muscle and grunt, and just a big clatter. In the still of the night, this big clatter sounds just like
Echoes everywhere.
just echoes everywhere.
It's like when you're trying to sneak out at night and you're like every footstep you make, you think your parents can hear it because the floor is creaking.
And so she says, she looks at Max and says, I need your assistance. So what both of us are going to do is do a combined strength roll.
Okay. It's just straight strength.
Just straight strength.
So the most I'm going to do is add 1. So that's, I think I've got a roll for it. So I'm going to provide 11.
11. So She pulls, from the door handle and kind of inside, and you're not able to get a good grasp, but as that first pull, you're able to sink your hands in, and again, you just hear that clanking sound as the door is just banging, and then Max, you reach up on top, and you can feel, you actually now got a better hold, and you pull. The door is coming off, but it didn't completely pull straight off of its hinges, and off in the distance, you hear just this, what sounds like baboons howling and moving in, and they're getting louder.
I hate monkeys.
Now, is that a sound that I know from home?
No. So this is a completely new sound for you. And so
Is it a big enough gap that Azrael can squeeze through?
not big enough. And so it's going to be another combined strength roll. And also, too, so you hear Oksana say, someone else reach in, and then others take cover and watch us behind.
I'll watch the rear.
I'll grab onto the door as well.
I'll also position myself because my ward enemies is 5-meter radius, so
Okay.
I'll make sure I kind of centrally locate myself to protect us.
And Azrael, what are you doing?
Well, I don't have any strength for shit, so I feel like trying to help that way won't help.
Would be getting in the way.
I would get in the way, but I can try to blast the door with my lightning.
So you can see 3 of them already reaching in and getting handholds of the door and getting ready to pull. And so Ava joined Oksana and Max.
Is this a metal door that they're like bending out?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Impressive.
So go and roll strength, guys.
Who's got good strength? Because I'm just going to give you 1 point.
Mine ended up being 9.
So unless you're watching, so you can try to move or stand by Elias and watch, because you can hear the sound of baboons just coming in fast and moving.
I'm going to watch and then be ready to cast lightning.
All right, that was a little bit better. That's a 19 from me.
So 19,
13.
13. So that is going to be. So that's a 19 total to your strength, Max.
My total is 19.
Okay, so yeah, then with yours. So as you guys start moving in, Max, as you just like feel that, as you wrench back, your elbow actually catches Oksana in the nose, and so she kind of stumbles back. She rolled a 1.
Oh, jeez.
But between the two of you, you're able to actually yank the door off. The sound just sounds horrendous in the middle of the night, and about that time, just moving quickly along the high rises and the trees that are still around the building, you can see these dark fleeting movements just coming in fast, and just hear the sounds of what just baboons just howling. And we are going to move into initiative.
What is this new devilry?
So, standard scene, villains inspired,
No.
and villains go first.
Inspired monkeys. That is not really good.
So, for those at home, inspiration is recover 2 shock. So, luckily for you guys, it happened at the beginning. What you see is a troop of baboons moving in. There's 6 of them, and what it looks like is, for the people from Orosh, you recognize and see, something undead. So these are undead baboons, but yet the blast that killed them and then the infusion of the 2 realities combining, you can also see just like this metal plates kind of hodgepodge that melded into the arms and the bodies, and these just the metal claws and just this gnarly baboon teeth seem to glint with metal as these things shriek this hollow undead sound and start just moving down faster and just start dropping in on you guys.
This is like literally my worst nightmare.
Undead baboons.
Ooh. Monkeys are scary.
These are worse than monkeys. These are baboons
Yeah.
with their little red butts and their fucking big fangs. Not cool.
I just think like Rafiki, but like halfway between a zombie and a robot.
Ooh, man. And they got cybered up. They're cybered up baboons.
And these are cybered up baboons.
Crazy.
No. Pass.
And they're undead. which
And they're
They
undead.
are forces of the.
So as these things start dropping
underworld.
down, I need everybody to make either a willpower or a spirit roll.
It'd be a 17.
17. You feel that fear, but you have faith in your God.
right.
Swallow it down. Your God is with you. So this is just one more monster to be put down.
Right.
Ava.
6.
6. You fought undead before. but this is a new level of, combination of just technology, demon tech, and you are stymied. So everything that you do is at -2.
Am I making a roll being from Tharkold?
Yes, because you never had to fight undead cybernetic baboons.
And I'm sorry, again, the roll is...
Willpower or spirit.
I've got an idea.
And are we getting the bonus from the father?
No, that's only on
You
dex.
plus 2 to all your defense, all defenses.
That's an 8 for me.
8. Even though you're from Tharkold, these animals, something that you're not used to, and a troop of angry baboons that are also cybernetic can enough to just unsteel you. So
as far as I know, for the Tharkold realm that I come from the cosmos I come from, abominations are not there. The nuclear blasted, twisted creatures, those are not where I'm from.
They are not from where you're
They're
from.
new.
They are new.
Well, that makes sense then.
Azrael, what did you roll?
7.
So again, the only one here, just even from the Monstrous Venatorum, you're not used to fighting this type of monster, and so everyone just kind of seems shaken. Even Oksana, and very quaverly, she says, "Quickly, get your computers." The only one who's here and feeling that faith is you standing up forward.
Perfect, because the action that I want to take makes total sense.
However, it does draw the attention of some of the baboons.
They go first?
Villains first. So the first 2 that are attacking on you, they're just dropping down, swinging.
Right. So my dodge is going to be a 7.
So first one, you easily just step aside as it just drops down, lands, and just tries to swing at you. But then the second one comes, and that is going to be 12 plus 4 is 16 against your 7. That is 9, so a good success. So it's going to be its strength plus 2, so it's a 9 strength, but the cybernetics give it an 11, so a bonus dice of 3, so that's
And I'm going to have an
14.
11 toughness.
So that's going to be a good success, a difference of 3, a difference of 3, and it's going to be 2 shock. So Ava, one that's on you, drops down, and again just as it just kind of rushes forward and just starts swinging its claws, and he can just reaches out and starts biting at you. That is going to be a 13 versus your unarmed combat.
11.
11 is going to just be a standard success. So it's going to be 11 damage versus your toughness.
Which is 11.
So this thing just kind of starts raking at you, but it's not cutting through the armor that you're wearing. Max, the one on you, just jumps down and tries to bite, but you take a step back and doesn't even come close.
I just want to remind you, the ones that miss are stymied. So one missed me, now one's missed Max. I don't know if there were any other misses, but the ones that missed, because of my ward enemies, they're stymied.
Okay.
I'm glad you said that out loud.
So let me note that down real quick.
And when I get hit and take damage, do I have to make some type of concentration check or anything? Because it's concentration on the ward enemies.
If a character suffers a successful interaction or damaging attack while maintaining a spell with the duration of concentration or casting hasn't been completed yet, must pass a willpower or a spirit test.
Okay. What's my DN? We'll go willpower, which is spirit. So
It's just going to be standard, so
okay,
10.
Cool. I got a 21.
So no problem. Shan, so the one that comes down, swings on you is a 12 versus your unarmed combat.
Is that the same as my unarmed defense?
Yes.
Oh, no, unarmed, so 9.
Remember,
So
you're plus
9?
plus 2 to your defense, all defenses.
11.
11. Still get you by 1. So it's going to be strength of 11 versus your toughness.
Am I still wearing Tharkold armor?
I'm assuming
think
you were.
so.
They put it
I
on.
wouldn't see you
Okay.
taking it off.
Yeah.
10.
10. So beat you by 1. That's going to be 2 shock.
And for everyone, remind you, you recover shock when you deal 1 or more wounds to anything.
So the one that is on Oksana jumps down and swings, but she could see her lift up her hammer, and she just kind of pops out real quick and just jabs the baboon back, and so she's able to defend. We have 1 left, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Shan, the last one, drops down on you, on Azrael, and misses badly.
Stymied.
Okay, so Elias, you have 2 on you. Oksana's 1 on her. Ava has 1. Max has 1. You have 2. All right, who's up first?
I'm gonna shoot the one. I'll try to shoot it in the face since it's right there on top of me. 14.
14 versus their dodge is a standard
Standard.
success.
So it's 12. Because I had the -2 since I was also stymied.
Well, that's right from the fear. Still beat by 1, so standard success.
Just 14 damage.
So straight 14 damage against their toughness. Normally it would be shock, but they're undead, so they ignore shock. And so your shot just kind of as it fires and it hits. You can see a piece of its shoulder just kind of blow off. Normally that would have been enough to halt a living enemy, but this thing just kind of keeps coming at you. Oksana swings, and while she does, she's yelling, "Get to the computers!" As she takes a swing at the one that's on her and just misses wide. The thing just kind of jumps back. That power hammer just kind of slow arc, and then on its descent, it just steam blows out of its end, and shoom, it just shoots down but misses. So who's next?
Can I disengage and run to the computers?
Yes, you may.
I'm going to disengage and run to the computers.
Okay, it's not like D. They don't get a
attack
opportunity attack.
Right.
Okay.
So you're moving into the computers. Next round, you can start trying to hack into it.
Okay.
I will go.
All right, Father Elias.
So, question. What I want to do is I want to use my Infernal Judgment, which creates this pillar of flame, but I want to use it as an intimidation against these things.
So from what you know, undead are immune to psychological attacks.
Okay, so I can't intimidate. All right.
And you would know that.
Then I'll just roast one. What's around the door? Are there bushes and different things? Are there trees?
It's not really trees. I mean, there's some sparse shrubbery, but nothing started to really grow back yet.
But there's a building here, right?
But there is a building here. There's other, it's just kind of like outhouses nearby. Think of it just as, maintenance sheds nearby. Okay. Just picture, like a control room in the middle of a big metropolitan zoo.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move to where the buildings there. One of these is between me and the building, and I'm going to do crucifixion. I'm going to pin it to the building.
Okay, so go ahead and try to move.
All right.
How far are you going to move?
Well, it's just got to be within 10 meters of the building, which is 30 feet. So I'm guessing if it was in melee and I was standing right in front of the door.
You guys are right. I would say no problem.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make the roll. With the end is its dodge or dexterity.
So it's going to be 11.
Okay. 7's not that good, but let's see, 7's -2, and it is a faith roll, which is 16. So that's be a 14.
14, 3, so standard success.
Standard success. The damage is 16 and has 4 points of AP. The spike's impaled to the surface in a manner of crucifixion, and he is restrained. Breaking free is a very hard, which is a DN 16 strength test. So I pin one to the building.
So
in crucifixion manner.
Okay, so it does a strength 9. And what's your damage?
16.
16, so that is actually going to be a good success. So as you cast your crucifixion and one of the baboons that was at you, you're able to position it around, and your god answers your miracle, and just the miracle produces the nails, and it just slides or just moves forward, piercing the baboon. Tell us what we see.
It pins it to the wall, and the baboon screeches out its last cry of pain as it expires. Arms pinned, feet pinned in a very religious way.
Pinned in a religious way.
Yes.
So it's just like you guys see it just kind of like just
yeah.
crucified up against the wall. His baboon head is just hanging down, and it slowly starts just dissolving into dust. Nice. And you see just pieces of the metal just ching, just start falling as the flesh dissolves into dust.
That is the power of God.
There's a 50-50. That was the one that missed you.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3 will say missed you, and I'll let you roll it.
3.
3. So yep, it killed.
It was the stamina. Now, don't I get shocked back when I do damage? Is that what happens? I heal.
Yes. So with the law of pain, whenever you deal a wound, you recover 1 shock.
1 or more. Okay, cool. All right, so 1 shock. Awesome. All right, we only have 1 shock now. And every 3 shock is a wound. Is that what it is, or we just once we've lost all our shock, we pass out. We're unconscious.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
Correct.
Okay.
So the realm of Tharcold, once you just destroyed this baboon, your god never quite rewarded you for your valor in battle. It just was an expectation. Whereas here in this world, there's a sense of approval that just courses through your body as the destruction of this being replenishes you.
And I did forget to do the -2 to my roll because I'm concentrating on a spell, but I still would have made it.
You still would have made it, yeah.
I'm going to strike the one that's... Wait a minute. Is one or two chasing Azrael?
She disengaged, and it's likely that they can, but you don't see them, taking an action yet.
All right. I will move from mine, ignoring mine, and strike at one of the ones that potentially would follow her to try and get their attention on me.
Okay, so let's do a 50-50.
Now, can I do 2 attacks at -2 to each?
Don't you have a perk to do that?
I do.
Yes.
That's what I'm asking. If my memory serves, I have the ability to ignore the first 4 points, yes.
And you're -2 because of your failed willpower test.
And I'm -2 because of that? Okay.
Yes, because you're stymied from that.
So I will be...
How long does stymied last?
This combat.
Okay.
So is it...
Oh, excuse me, nope, until the end of the next turn, so...
So only one turn of stymie?
Correct.
Okay.
So if I'm reading it right, each attack is at -2, so that is a total of -4. Then, stymied, each attack is at -2 for an additional -4.
Correct.
All right, so I'm going to be -2 on each of my 2 attacks, but I'm going to strike 2 different monkeys. So the strikes are, first one is a 14.
Which is going to beat by 2, so standard success.
Okay, and the second one is going to be a 16.
Which is beat by 4, standard success. What is your damage?
Damage on those is 11 with AP2.
AP2, so that's going to be versus their strength of 9. That's going to be 2 shock each. They ignore shock, so you slice into them. Normally, this definitely would have set back or cut a living person or a living thing, but just the undead and the occult technology that's keeping this thing alive just doesn't affect it. So new turn and the end of...
So now we throw cards in and draw Cosm cards?
That's correct. No, not Cosm cards, but you put in your Destiny card.
Okay. When do we draw Cosm card? Oh, the new act?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha, okay. I'm going to discard Bromance. It says alternatively discard for a possibility and draw a card. So I discard that out of my hand?
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm going to get a possibility for that. Since
And
I
a
don't
new
have
card.
any. And a new card.
I'm going to play action. It's add +3 to the total of your test. Action may be played after determining the success level of the test.
And I threw in drama, which is a possibility.
Okay.
I'm throwing in adrenaline, which is basically the same as.
Here's a willpower, +3 to
action.
charisma, mind, or spirit.
You don't get to play one in because your action to play one in was
okay.
to play one.
Okay.
And so you're still stymied this turn, but at the end of this turn, you will no longer be stymied. So those who are. Heroes are fatigued, but they go
No.
first.
What does fatigue mean?
So fatigue inflicts 2 points of shock to every character afflicted on this end of their turn.
That's great.
Represents, just fear, stress.
So 2 points. So it's like we have 3 points of shock right now. just from
Correct.
the-
Well, I have 4.
Oh.
So I got 2 from...
From the fear check, right? Didn't you?
No, that just causes stymie, not actual shock.
I got 2 shock from something.
From the monkey.
No. It was earlier.
I think it was the first baboon.
Oh, okay, it was the baboon.
Yeah, you got
I'm getting-
attacked by 2 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so heroes first. Who's first?
Let me try to do the hacky hack on the computer.
So for us, what this is going to
Okay.
be is this is going to be a dramatic skill resolution
Or should I let
one-on-one.
I'll let them go first.
So we'll do ours
Simultaneously?
yeah, and we'll do ours on separate. Actually, no, we just drew. So A, you have A and B. You can attempt both rolls.
Wait, we already had A and B.
She's
I'm trying to
Oh,
have
you're
the
a different
computer.
A and B.
So
Yeah.
I have a dramatic scene all by myself.
yeah, because so for game terms, her dramatic scene resolution is trying to hack in, close the enclosures before more animals come, while you guys are holding off these baboons,
Gosh.
these baboon ghouls.
Hack the computers.
Okay.
Okay, so there A and B is there. You can attempt both rolls.
But
So
isn't it like minus something for the second roll?
it'll be -2 for the second roll. So it's a standard test. So it's going to be 10 and then 12 if you attempt the second.
11.
11 is 0, and it's computers, which is what, mind?
Yeah.
And so what is your mind?
11.
11, so you make that one.
Yeah, that's why I said 11.
Okay, so
Okay.
11's good. Are you going to attempt the second one?
Yes, but I'm not gonna use the fucking fleet ice because that one's being mean to me right now.
So this is going to be a DN 12.
I'll use a chip for. We need to get into the computers.
All right.
Okay. So
Minimum
12.
of 10.
I'm gonna use my +3.
Okay, so that it would be...
So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's
Doesn't the action card add to the end, the bonus? Or does it add
Oh.
to the
Yeah.
die roll?
Yeah,
You can
dice
add
add
to
to
the
dice,
end.
action adds...
Okay.
So
12
To the total of your test.
is
Plus-
0 plus. So that's 14.
14 makes it.
Okay, fuck.
So you get those two down. So as you start hacking into it, it's a weird system, but it's a kind of antiquated. So like back when you were a kid, this is what was like in school.
It would be like relearning using how to floppy disk.
Yeah.
Like booting up an old Trash 80, Radio Shack Trash 80, and do a command line.
But you're able to get in. So
Working up a sweat here.
Okay. Who's next?
I'll go next.
So you had two baboons that you swung on and cut,
Yep.
but didn't do damage on.
So I'm still stymied, right?
Correct.
So I'm gonna... screw it. Doesn't hurt me to attack each of them again. One of them is going to be an 18, and the other one is going to be a 10.
So 10 does not hit. So the one that you swing on with the 10, it just kind of just jumps up and just knocks your claws down. But the one with the 16 is 18 is going to be succeed by 6. So a good success.
All right. So damage there is going to be 14 AP2.
14 AP2. So against a strength of 9 is going to be 5. So as you cut down on this thing, tell us what we see.
I'm going to slice through at the front. I've got the attack of the right-hand side, but as I grab my claws... from the left-hand side, but as I grab my claws from that one, I've held it with one set of claws, take its head through with the other set.
So as you know, those the sea just all of a sudden just these glowing claws from Max just full blown decapitates one of the baboons, and so the head just goes, and as it's landing on the ground, it starts dissolving. The body just kind of crumples, and the circuitry in the occult tech just makes it start twitching, and then just ends up dying down, and then the flesh starts turning to dust. Who's next?
I'm gonna take another shot at mine.
Roll 1, 2, 3. This is the one that was stymied. 4, 5, 6. You killed the one that wasn't.
4, 5, 6.
So you killed the one that was not stymied.
I'm gonna take another shot. See what this does.
Dodge 11.
13.
13 is going to be a standard success, so only 2.
Damage on it's 14.
14 versus 3 is going to be
11.
11 is actually going to be only 2 shock. So again, you're hitting it, but it just, the undead flesh is not causing it to stagger.
I will try and crucify the other one against the building as I tell them, go back to the underworld. You have no place here. And I will cast my crucifixion. Anybody want to throw me a bone there? Oh, you guys are almost out. So, now let's see. So, that would give me... Yeah, it's going to fail. Yeah, I didn't make the DN.
All right, so these things are just moving around as you try to position. You reach out to cast your miracle, just can't quite focus and grasp that holy energy. So there are 4 left. There was one that's on you. So the one on you, Father Elias, swings.
I have 7 defense.
And it just kind of jumps up and jumps like getting ready for like a head bite. You duck over and it just kind of jumps over, landing behind you.
Stymied.
Eva, the one that's on you, that is going to be unarmed combat of 18 versus your unarmed defense.
10.
10. So that's going to
Do we
be
still have the plus 2?
Yes.
Plus 2?
plus, absolutely.
12, right?
Oh, that is with the plus 2
Oh,
that we
that
had
is-
earlier. I just
okay.
wrote over it. So it's 10.
So 10 is still going to be a good success. So it is 11 damage plus 10, so 21 versus your toughness.
11.
11, that is 10. This thing just kind of just reaches up, it just jumps up. Just big baboon teeth just pushes up on, its legs push up on you, and the teeth just sink down right into your face. You take 2 wounds and 4 shock. As you guys hear Eva just scream out.
Now, if you want to soak, there's the equivalent of a possibility in the pool that you can play for yourself to soak.
She's got 2 possibilities, too.
Or, I didn't see them, or you can play your own.
I'll go ahead and do
They're
the card.
hiding behind her coffee. Which one is it?
She plays the card.
The drama or
So
the...
drama.
It's the drama.
So that's a reality check, and your DN is 10. A good success soaks up 2 wounds and all shock. An outstanding soaks up all wounds.
12.
So 12 is going to be a standard success, 1 wound, but all shock are now gone.
So I think you just have 1 wound.
So that was 1, 2. The baboon that's on Oksana swings, and you can see these two are actually kind of doing this nice, pretty dance. None of them have landed a shot yet, and as the baboon and Oksana are circling each other.
And that baboon is stymied. So
If they miss, they're stunned.
it's making it worse.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 are dead. Max, the one on you. That is going to be a 17 versus your unarmed combat.
14.
14, so that's just a standard success. That is going to be strength 11.
Toughness of 11.
11, so this thing rakes, but it wasn't able to get through your armor or penetrate through. And that is everyone for this turn. So you need a C for this one.
But we got to throw cards in, right?
And throw cards in.
And then we redraw
You get
up
a
to
C.
4, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
So you got a C and a D.
Nice!
So I'll play a close call. This is play when soaking damage. You get an automatic outstanding success and take no damage.
I'm gonna
Case
have
somebody gets
second
bit again.
wind, which just recovers 5 shock, just in case these baboons.
In case anybody needs to soak.
And nobody is stymied anymore.
Playing hero card, which is basically a possibility.
So this is heroes first. Let's do ours.
Okay.
So there's a C and a D.
Oh, nice.
And it's the same as last time, a 10 and a 12 or whatever?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We are rolling a mind. 12?
12 is a success. So as you guys are fighting, you can hear in the background what just sounds like just some type of roar.
One did come from one of the baboons, right?
No,
This is not a baboon
That's not
sound.
a baboon. Baboons don't make that sound.
sounds like a lion, tiger, or bear.
Oh my.
Thank you for catching on. All right. I'm going to do this again.
So DN 12 this time.
9 plus my hero card as a possibility. So that's 20, which is plus 7, 18.
18. Yep.
Nice.
Woo!
So you got all 4.
I'm so
You're
good at
in
this.
and can and you know the system and you can shut down. So you hit that execute button and you guys hear in the background just something clunking and closing.
All the enclosures start closing and locking. Is that what it is? Oh, nice. That's good.
So no more animals.
Oh, yeah, well, hopefully,
Hopefully they're not all the
they
pigs
aren't already out roaming
And
around.
I locked them out with us.
And then they can't get back in.
All right. So and there's still baboons left.
You want to go?
So there's 4 baboons.
How close is the baboon? Is it like on top of me, or is
It right now it is chewing on your face.
I'm gonna go for another shot.
Okay.
Stuff the barrel in its mouth.
So
I mean, I
you
could
so the things
smack
so like
it.
you push off and just point blank, just get ready to blast it.
Oh jeez. Yeah, it didn't.
We're all just having a
So
rough day.
so when you go to shoot, you didn't get the angle right, and so it's just and you end up shooting right over its head. So who's next?
I'll go next.
All right.
So I have 1 on me.
So 1 on you. There's 1 that was just bit Ava. Father Elias has 1. Oksana has 1.
So I'm going to start with the 1 on me. Depending on what happens, I may go to Ava's.
Okay.
So for my first attack, that is going to be a 12.
12 against its unarmed combat of 12. No. And so
All right, then I'll hit mine again. That is going to be instead a 16.
16 standard success by 4.
Okay, so I'm going to do, again, 11 plus AP2.
AP2, so again, it would be shock, but these things are undead, so you cut through it, but it doesn't stop it as it keeps coming at you. Father Elias?
I'm going to try and crucify the one that's on Ava so that she doesn't take any more damage. The one that's been attacking me hasn't been that successful.
Okay. So, dodge of 11.
2. All right. Well, let's see. Is there anything I need? Do we have any possibilities or anything out there that we can use?
No.
That was the one. Okay.
No, I used both
All right,
mine.
no problem. So, yeah, that's a miss.
So again, just the dance of combat, I'm not quite able to, reach your god and say the proper prayer. Oksana swings down, and the baboon that's on her, she just kind of lands. It's like opens up its big maw, and then all of a sudden you guys see the arc of her hammer, and then just the pistons just start moving. Steam blow out from this power hammer, which accelerates its swing and just cracks it right on top of its head, splitting it, and just almost instantly the rest of its body just starts to dissolve back into dust.
Gross.
Well, I'm gonna take my second barrel that I have, which gives me an extra action. So
Oh.
Nice.
I'm gonna use my curse shell this time.
So as the cylinder rotates.
I think it's going to be a little faster than that. It's like, hopefully it's not a
17.
clockwork device.
14.
14 against their dodge of 11 is 3, so standard success.
So it deals 14 damage and it makes the target vulnerable for the next minute.
14?
Attacks that hit the target gain +1
Bonus damage. Nice.
bonus damage
While
it's vulnerable. Or
Plus
very
1 is
vulnerable.
a single die, right? Plus 1 damage is a dice.
Yeah, one of the D6.
Not the number one, it's one
Right.
dice. Okay.
I think, right? Is that right?
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
asking.
D6, yeah.
So, no, because it will say a BD if it's going to be a bonus die.
That's
Yeah.
what it says.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it's
a BD.
plus 1.
Oh, so yeah, the +1 bonus die.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
So this thing rotates and you just shoot out, tags it right in the center. Not enough to damage it or cause shock, but what it does is it staggers this baboon back and just opens it up, just wide open. Yep.
You're just pissing it off.
Okay, so baboons get to attack. So the one on you that you turned around,
I have a 7 dodge.
it's actually going to be unarmed combat.
Okay, so also 7.
Okay, so that
Is yours
is going
stymied?
to be
It missed me last turn, so it's stymied.
okay. So that is going to be 7. So that's a good success.
I thought, what does the stymie do to it again?
Minus 2.
Oh, -2. Nice. Okay, cool.
So that's going to be 14 damage against your toughness.
9.
So 9. So that's going to be 5. So that's going to be 1 wound and 2 shock.
Alright.
So you turned around to cast your miracle, and then all of a sudden you just feel these claws just rake down your back.
I'm gonna close call it and soak all that damage.
And so it just rakes down your back. But your faith just reaches out and grabs reality, and you can just see anyone looking see the skin mend back together, and even see the cloth just kind of sew back together again as reality takes over.
And that doesn't require a possibility, it just happens.
Nope. You just play when soaking damage. Well, so do I have to play that to soak?
You would have
Oh,
to
yeah,
have a
absolutely.
possibility to soak.
Oh, I thought I could just play it and soak the damage. Okay, so I can't soak damage because I don't have any possibility. So what's the damage?
Oh, that's going to be 1 wound and 2 shock.
Okay, cool.
So, Ava, the one that's on you, it just can't get its bearing, and so it's still staggering back, wide open, and then Max.
Stymied?
Yeah, it goes to swing, and you just kind of hold up your hand, and it just timed it wrong, and just runs up against your arm. So, new round. Go ahead, everyone, put in your destiny cards. Okay, so next round. Heroes first and
flurry.
flurry. Two actions.
I'll start. I'll work on mine to begin with. First attack is not going to do it because we know where that ends up. The second one, however, is probably still not going to do it. That's going to again be the 16.
16, unarmed combat of 12, so standard success.
Yep.
So again, you're cutting this thing,
Yep.
but it's just not going. Who's up next?
Me.
So you guys, all of a sudden you hear the kunk as something just closes down, and then Azrael steps out of the room, and her eyes are lighting up just lightning blue. And what do?
I'm casting lightning on whatever one is. Are you still being bit?
No, but it also is vulnerable right now. And
I'm gonna hit
takes
that
an
one.
extra
Okay.
dice.
So you see one just kind of like staggering back, its baboon arms just out like this, and just as a staggering.
About to get pulped.
15.
15 is going to be a standard success.
So damage 16 ignores 4 armor.
And you get a plus.
And you get a +1 bonus die.
Okay. 2.
18 damage, -4. It has a strength of 9, so that's going to be a 9. Tell us what we see.
It blows up into like gross, rotty monkey chunks everywhere.
So coming out from behind you, just all of a sudden you feel the static electricity as the hair on the back of your neck just stands up on end. You see this lightning strike just come, hit that monkey, and just these gross chunks of undead monkey char just flies
Ooh.
everywhere.
You get something in your mouth, you're like, oh.
Yummy.
And who's up? So 2 are left.
So 2 are left.
So there's one on me and one on
Max.
Max, okay.
I'll go for the one that's on you. I'm also going to try to hit it with another curse shell.
That curse shell is nice.
Ooh.
That one? Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Disconnect.
You
Well,
shot me.
did you
Can I-
take the Realm Runner perk?
No.
Oh, you can
Can
spend
I-
a possibility to. Oh, I thought you couldn't do it on a botch.
So,
You
so
can't.
in that
Disconnect
one,
now.
Darn.
so as you start just just getting ready, all of a sudden, just the realm of Tharkold just slams into your brain, and for a moment, you're thinking to yourself, "This place isn't bad. This place, I can get used to this place." As you start buying into the axioms of Tharkold.
Is that the thing that makes the gun turn into weird things? Am I like? In some instances, it might actually make your weapon more powerful, right?
So, what is your Orortian axioms?
Magic 16, Social 18, Spirit 16, Tech 18.
So is anything that you operate magic-based or spirit-based?
Alchemy might be.
The alchemy might be. So the tech of your gun will still work, but any of the alchemical bullets that you have, they're probably not going to work. They're just going to be standard bullets. Double check while that's going on.
All right.
And then who's up next?
Okay, it didn't get hit. I'm going to go ahead and try and crucify the one that's on me.
So you turn around, the one that just swiped you in the back.
Third time's a charm, baby. All right, it's a little better. So that's a +1. That's going to be 17.
17 against a dodge of 11. So that's going to be difference of 6. Good success.
23 damage.
Against its 9, tell us what we see.
So what it does is it pins it to the building and then draws and quarters it. It rips the arms off, and the rest of the center baboon just falls to the ground.
And so you guys just go thunk as it just falls to the ground, and with a metallic clank, and then just everything, the pinned arms and limbs just start to disintegrate, and you can see just the nails, that came out of nowhere, just fastened up against the wall. Dug
They
deep.
come from my hands. Oh, poof. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And then Oksana will take a swing at the one that's left, and that is going to be a miss. So you see Oksana coming up behind you, but she had to step out of the way for this baboon that goes flying by her, and it threw off her swing.
Second round of heroes.
Second round of heroes.
I'll attack mine. So since I can throw both on the same one, that is going to be, again, slightly better. That's going to be a 17 to hit this time.
17 is going to be a difference of 5, so it's good success.
There we go. All right, well, again, slightly better. So we are going to have 5 and 8, 13 AP2.
So that's going to be 9, so difference of 4.
Okay.
And that is 2 shock.
Damn it.
Yep, needed a 5 to be able to get that wound.
Okay.
Let me try. 15, so that's going to be a 21.
Which is going to be an outstanding success.
6 plus, that's going to be 22 damage.
So this one just right in the back, all of a sudden these nails just come flying. And tell us what we see in this baboon.
Same thing as last time. It just rips the arms off. The tension of the hand spikes rip the arm off, and the rest of it is pinned to the wall with the through the feet.
And then just starts disintegrating down.
Yep.
So everyone just kind of looks around, and because you did a wound, any shock that you had?
Yeah. Any shock?
Yeah,
Well,
just
or
one
just
shock.
one
do I
shock.
get to get rid of one shock?
Oh, and I
since
get one
used
from
that
last time
Yes.
too.
Yes.
So I get one from
every wound or more in a single round you cause, recover a shock.
Cool.
Only up to the amount of wounds that your enemy has, right? Like, so if I did 2 wounds...
No, you only get it per attack.
Per attack, okay.
So you
gotcha.
can do 1 wound or 60 wounds, you only
Okay.
get 1 shock in that first attack.
So as all of a sudden the den, you can hear angry roars behind you, but nothing, is coming in closer. And the rejoice of killing your enemies in Darkhold sets upon you, and euphoria sets in. Even if you don't want to, you look about and just see, smiles upon the faces of the entire party as you revel in your victory. And with that,
She has to reconnect.
and so go ahead and reconnect.
Do we take our cards back?
Yes, go and bring your cards back. So a reconnect, just going to be a spirit roll, DN10, or reality, actually. Not quite yet there.
Nope.
So, it's combat's over, so I don't think it's going to be an issue for you to be able to reconnect. I mean, if you're going to get the roll eventually. And so you guys, just as everyone's just kind of smiling around, looking at each other, and just, the victory, you look over and see Eva, and she's just eyes closed, head bowed down, and she's just kind of muttering something you can't quite hear. Eventually, you will reconnect.
I'm gonna immediately go to Ava, and then once she's back, and say you're wounded. I'm gonna try and first aid her, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I got 1 wound.
There's
Heal.
a big,
Yeah.
big puncture right in her cheek.
My DN's 10, and this is first aid. So a 6 is that's 4. My first aid is 13. Ooh, that's only a 9. All right, so I don't heal you from there. It's your choice. I can once per scene. I can magically try and heal you, but I can only heal you once per scene. You want to wait until you're more damaged, or you want me to heal the wound now so that you're full for anything that we might be meet coming forward?
I think we'll go ahead and wait.
Okay, I'll go ahead and first aid myself. 15, so that's going to be 15 total.
So it's a good success, DN10.
Good success. So good success. He removes 2 wounds. So, all right. So I don't. Anyone else wounded?
I just have 3 shocks.
And the shock heals itself.
Shock
Yeah.
will itself.
Okay.
Right.
Was it once per minute or something like that?
Yeah,
So it
something like
takes
that.
10 minutes to do the first aid. So 10 minutes, so it's been 20 minutes. So is that long enough to heal
Oh yeah,
the shock?
I
Okay.
think so.
So I can no more shock.
No more shock.
Cool.
And like during that time, he was able to reconnect. Like I said, it's just you're going to make the roll eventually. So with you still have your one wound, but you're able to render first aid to yourself.
Oh no, I only had one wound, so I healed it. Yeah.
Everyone else recovers. The sounds of roars, eventually die down as the frustration of whatever got locked out and can't get in, thanks to your successful resolution, prevents more from coming in. And with that, we're going to go ahead and close out this session.
Thank you for joining us on another NCRP Productions podcast. We couldn't do this without you, so please like and subscribe everywhere we're found, including YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify, and other great podcast sites. If you'd like to help us continue making more content, we'd love to have your support on our Patreon. And we'd like to give a special shout out to our current patrons, our Siegson Employees of the Month, Michael H., Michael P., and our Breaker of Seals, Frank H., Christopher C., Matthew K. Thank you all. We truly, truly appreciate it. And a very special thanks to our fantastic artist, Jacob Blackmon, who you can reach on his Patreon under his name, or Deviant Art under the name Prodigy Duck.